Hello, my name is Mr. Colsey, the High School Library Media Specialist. I'm happy to present this summer's recommended reading list. The books on this list were chosen by members of the High School Student Reading Committee, which is represented by students, teachers, and parents. The committee carefully reviewed almost 100 books throughout this school year. On this list, you'll find many genres to choose from: mystery, thriller, horror, science fiction, romance, historical fiction, and many others, in addition to a few non-fiction titles. After viewing this video, please refer to the Summer Reading List brochure to make sure the book you choose is appropriate for your grade and reading preference. Also, please refer to the school webpage for any summer assignments. Finally, on behalf of the Student Reading Committee, I would like to thank the Lacey Township High School PTSA for the generous grant that made this list possible.
A Magic Steeped in Poison by Judy Lin. Ning enters a cutthroat magical competition to find the kingdom's greatest master of the art of brewing tea, but political schemes and secrets make her goal of gaining access to royal physicians to cure her dying sister far more dangerous than she imagined. Romance fiction, fantasy fiction, LGBTQ fiction, all grades.
The Honeys by Ryan LaSala. After his twin sister Caroline dies under horrific circumstances, Mars takes her place at the elite Aspen Conservancy Summer Academy, where he finds himself hunted by something toying with his mind that leads him to the Honeys, a group of beautiful and terrifying girls. Horror fiction, fantasy fiction, LGBTQ fiction, grades 10 through 12, or mature readers.
Dead End Girls by Wendy Hurd. When she and her cousin fake their own deaths to answer the call of the void that beckons them toward a new life, they learn there are some things that you can never run away from. Mystery fiction, LGBTQ, romance fiction, realistic fiction, grades 11 and 12, or mature readers.
The Bone Spindle by Leslie Vedder. When she pricks her finger on a bone spindle, treasure hunter Fee is stuck with the spirit of Briar Rose, a prince under a sleeping curse, and must team up with a tough-as-dirt girl warrior to free the prince and herself. Fantasy fiction, adventure, LGBTQIA fiction, all grades.
You'd Be Home Now by Kathleen Glasgow. After a fatal car accident that reveals Emery's brother Joey's opioid addiction, Emery struggles to help him on his road to recovery and make herself heard in a town that insists on not listening. Realistic fiction, substance abuse fiction, grades 10 through 12 are mature readers.
In Harm's Way by Doug Stanton. On July 30th, 1945, the USS Indianapolis was torpedoed in the South Pacific by a Japanese submarine. An estimated 300 men were killed upon impact. Close to 900 sailors were cast into the Pacific Ocean, where they remained undetected by the Navy for nearly 4 days and nights. Battered by a savage sea, they struggled to stay alive, fighting off sharks, hypothermia, and dementia. The captain's subsequent court-martial left many questions unanswered. How did the Navy fail to realize that Indianapolis was missing? And perhaps most amazing of all, how did these 317 men manage to survive? History, nonfiction, and for all grades.
Survive the Dome by Kosoko Jackson. A high school junior teams up with a hacker during a police brutality protest to shut down a device that creates an impenetrable dome around Baltimore that is keeping residents and the information from getting out. Dystopia fiction, science fiction, LGBTQ fiction, grades 10 through 12, or mature readers.
The Getaway by Lamar Giles. Jay discovers that the mountain resort where he lives and works with his friends and family is also a doomsday oasis for the rich and powerful who expect top-notch customer service even as the world outside the resort's walls disintegrates. Horror fiction, dystopia fiction, all grades.
Message Not Found by Dante Medina. Mourning the death of her best friend Vanessa, 17-year-old Bailey creates a chatbot using their text messages and emails. But, unsatisfied with the result, Bailey seeks out more data for the app and uncovers Vanessa's secrets, forcing Bailey to reconcile what she thought she knew about her friend with what Vanessa kept hidden. Realistic fiction, grades 10 through 12, or mature readers.
League of Liars by Astrid Schulte. Ever since his mother was killed, 17-year-old Kader Broddick has had one goal: to see illegal users of magic brought to justice. People who carelessly use extra-dimensional magic for their own self-interest without a care to the damage it does to society or those around them deserve to be punished as far as Cater is concerned, because magic always has a price. So once Cater lands a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to apprentice under a premier public defender, he takes it. If he can learn all the tricks of public defense, the better he'll be able to dismantle defense arguments when he's a prosecutor. Then, he'll finally be able to make sure justice is served. It's fantasy fiction, mystery and thriller, and for all grades.
The Summer We Forgot by Carolyn George. Told in alternating voices, Darby, her ex-boyfriend Morgan, and their friends become embroiled in a murder investigation when their science teacher's body is discovered at the summer camp they all attended. Mystery fiction, all grades.
The Agathas by Kathleen Glasgow and Liz Lawson. To claim the hefty reward for information about Brooke Donovan's disappearance, Iris and Alice use complete works of Agatha Christie to teach them how to solve a mystery, but they don't realize the danger they are about to face. Mystery, thriller, fiction, all grades.
The Luminaries by Suzanne Denard. To reclaim her family's standing within the Luminaries, an ancient order standing between humanity and nightmares, Winnie must pass the Hunter trials, entering a world of danger, lies, and betrayal, where she must protect her town, her family, and her heart. Fantasy fiction, all grades.
The Second Death of Edie and Violet Bond by Amanda Glaze. 17-year-old twins and powerful mediums, Edie and Violet Bond are part of a spiritualist show, a tight-knit group of young women who express unladylike talents and opinions under the guise of communing with spirits. But when the dark spirit responsible for their mother's death crosses into the land of the living, the twins race against time to uncover a killer who would stop at nothing to cheat death. Historical fiction, paranormal fiction, all grades.
Ace is Wild by Amanda DeWitt. When his mother is sold out by a rival casino owner, Jack, the son of a Las Vegas casino mogul, infiltrates a high-stakes gambling club to discover the truth, while hopelessly navigating what it means to be in love while asexual. Realistic fiction, LGBTQIA fiction.
Two Truths and a Lie by April Henry. When a snowstorm strands her acting troupe in a creepy motel, Nell and her friends meet a group of strangers from another high school who insist they play the game Two Truths and a Lie, which turns into a matter of life and death. Mystery fiction, thriller fiction, all grades.
The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. Avery Grams has a plan for a better future. Survive high school, win a scholarship, and get out. But her fortunes change in an instant when billionaire Tobias Hawthorne dies and leaves Avery virtually his entire fortune. The catch? Avery has no idea why, or even who Tobias Hawthorne is. To receive her inheritance, Avery must move into sprawling, secret passage-filled Hawthorne house, where every room bears the old man's touch, his love of puzzles, riddles, and codes. Caught in a world of wealth and privilege, with danger around every turn, Avery will have to play the game herself just to survive. Mystery, fiction, all grades, reluctant readers.
How to Survive Your Murder by Danielle Valentine. Knocked out before she can testify against the man suspected of killing her sister Claire, Alice wakes up a year earlier on the same day Claire was murdered, and has until midnight to save her sister and bring the real killer to justice. Horror fiction, all grades.
Cracking the Bell by Jeff Herbach. Isaiah loves football. In fact, football saved Isaiah's life, giving him structure and discipline after his sister's death tore his family apart. But when Isaiah gets knocked out cold on the field, he learns there's a lot more to lose than football. Realistic fiction, sports fiction, all grades.
Dead Girls Can't Tell Secrets by Chelsea Achaso. Piper Sullivan was in a strange hiking accident last month and has been in a coma ever since. Her older sister Savannah can't pretend to be optimistic about it. Things look bad. Piper will never likely wake up, and Savannah will never get any answers about what exactly happened. But then, Savannah finds a note in Piper's locker inviting Piper to a meeting of their school's wilderness club, at the very place and on the very day she fell, which means there was a chance that Piper wasn't alone. Someone might have seen something, or worse, someone might have done something. But who would have wanted to hurt the perfect Piper Sullivan, and why? To discover the truth, Savannah joins the club on their weekend-long camping trip on the same mountain where her sister fell. But she'd better be careful. Everyone in the club is a suspect, and everyone seems to be keeping secrets about that tragic day. And Savannah, she's been keeping secrets too. Mystery, thriller, fiction, all grades.
Nothing More to Tell by Karen McManus. Starting her dream internship at a true crime show, Bryn becomes determined to solve the murder of her favorite teacher 4 years earlier and begins to uncover secrets that change everything and place her in the crosshairs of a killer. Thriller, suspense, fiction, all grades.
Foul Lady Fortune by Chloe Gong. As a series of murders cause unrest in Shanghai, Rosalind, also known as Fortune, must team up with a spy who has his own agenda and attempt to unravel a conspiracy that is more horrifying than they could have ever imagined. Historical fiction, LGBTQ fiction, all grades.
Agent Most Wanted by Sonia Purnell. Virginia Hall was deemed the most dangerous of all Allied spies by the Gestapo. Armed with her wits and her prosthetic leg, she was deployed behind enemy lines to inspire resistance in France, providing crucial support to fighting the Nazi occupation. In this largely untold story, Sonia Purnell uncovers the truth behind a Baltimore socialite who is essential to Allied victory. Nonfiction history, all grades.
Killing Time by Brenna Ehrlich. When her favorite teacher is murdered, true crime-obsessed teenager Natalie Temple launches her own investigation with the help of a new boy in town, but soon discovers some secrets were never meant to be told. It's thriller, suspense, and for all grades.
One for All by Lily Lanoff. In 1655, 16-year-old Tanya is the daughter of a retired musketeer, but she is afflicted with extreme vertigo and subject to frequent falls. When her father is murdered, she finds out that he has arranged for her to attend Madame de Treville's newly formed Académie des Maries in Paris, which, as it turns out, is less a school for would-be wives than a fencing academy for girls, and so Tanya begins her training to be a new kind of musketeer, and to get revenge for her father. Historical, adventure fiction, all grades.
I Must Betray You by Ruta Sepetys. In a country governed by isolation, fear, and a tyrannical dictator, 17-year-old Christian is blackmailed by the secret police to become an informer, but he decides to use his position to try to outwit his handler, undermine the regime, give voice to fellow Romanians, and expose to the world what is happening in his country. Historical fiction, all grades.
The Counselors by Jessica Goodman. After a traumatic school year, camp counselor Goldie Easton is excited to reunite with her two best friends at an elite summer camp. But when a local boy is found dead on the grounds, all three must reveal a dark secret to find the murderer. Realistic fiction, mystery thriller, romance fiction, grades 10 through 12, or mature readers.
Live, Laugh, Kidnap by Gabby Noon. 3 teen girls get caught up in a real estate battle between a commune and a manipulative mega church in their small Montana town. They devise a plot to exact revenge and make a profit by kidnapping the pastor's son and demanding ransom money. Comedy fiction, LGBTQ fiction, contemporary fiction, all grades. Lock the Doors by Vincent Ralph. 16-year-old Tom Cavagon, a survivor of past trauma who suffers from anxiety, befriends Alice, the new girl at his school and the former inhabitant of his home, hoping to rescue her from the secrets she seems to be concealing. Psychological, suspense, fiction, all grades.
They'll Never Catch Us by Jessica Goodman. Sisters Stella and Ellie Steckler are both determined to win a scholarship and escape their stifling small town, but their plans are upset when a new girl joins the cross-country team and then disappears. Thriller, suspense fiction, mystery fiction, sports fiction, grades 11 and 12, or mature readers.
1,000 Steps in the Night by Tracy Shee. When a girl who's never longed for adventure is hit with a curse that begins to transform her into a demon, she embarks on a quest to reverse the curse and return to her normal life, but along the way is forced to confront her true power within. Fantasy fiction, all grades.
Dig 2 Graves by Gretchen McNeil. Neve Lanier, after being betrayed by her best friend Yasmin, attends a girls' empowerment camp where she falls under the spell of the manipulative Diana, who kills Yasmin in exchange for Neve murdering her stepbrother, whom Neve has fallen for. Thriller fiction, LGBTQ fiction, all grades.
Blackout by Kay Monroe. Allie Costello wakes up after a terrible car accident with head injuries and zero recollection of who she was or what happened. As Allie learns about her notorious past, she grows to dislike who she was pre-accident. But when her life is put in jeopardy once more, Allie realizes that her only chance at survival is to remember who she used to be. Mystery fiction, all grades.
Kingdom of the Wicked by Carrie Maniscalco. Amelia and her twin sister Vittoria are witches who live secretly among humans, avoiding notice and persecution. One night, Vittoria misses dinner service at the family's renowned Sicilian restaurant. Amelia soon finds the body of her beloved twin. desecrated beyond belief. Devastated, Amelia sets out to find her sister's killer and seek vengeance at any cost, even if it means using dark magic that's been long forbidden. Fantasy fiction, paranormal fiction, grades 10 through 12.
These Deadly Games by Diana Urban. Soon after receiving an anonymous message stating that she has 24 hours to play a game by the sender's rules or he will kill her sister, 16-year-old Crystal Donovan realizes that cooperating will destroy her friends' lives and she must figure out a way to beat the kidnapper at his own game before she loses everything. Mystery thriller fiction, all grades.
All Eyes on Her by L.E. Flynn. Everyone thinks they know what happened. Some say that Tabby pushed him off that cliff. She didn't even like hiking. She was jealous. She had more than her share of demons. Others think that he fell accidentally. She loved Mark. She would never hurt him, even if he hurt her. But what's the real story? Realistic fiction, suspense, grades 11 and 12.
The Weight of Blood by Tiffany Jackson. While at Springville High's first integrated prom, Maddie, a constantly bullied biracial teenager, is tormented by her classmates until her secret is revealed, one that will cost them their lives. Horror fiction, all grades.
5 Survive by Holly Jackson. Red Kenny is on a road trip for spring break with 5 friends. Her best friend, the older brother, his perfect girlfriend, a secret crush, a classmate, and a killer. When their RV breaks down in the middle of nowhere with no cell service, they soon realize this is no accident. They have been trapped by someone out there in the dark, someone who clearly wants one of them dead. With 8 hours until dawn, the 6 friends must escape or figure out which of them is the target. But is there a liar among them? Buried secrets will be forced to light, and tensions inside the RV will reach deadly levels. Not all of them will survive the night. Mystery, thriller, suspense fiction, all grades.
Bright Ruined Things by Samantha Coho. Growing up on an island where the powerful Prosper family controls both the magic and the spirits who inhabit it, 18-year-old May longs for magic of her own to impress her best friend Coco and her crush Miles. But when the spirits are inexplicably dying, May and her friends start to unravel the mysteries of the island and a secret from May's past. Loosely based on Shakespeare's The Tempest and set in the 1920s. Historical fantasy, science fiction, fantasy fiction, mystery thriller fiction, all grades.
Furia by Amila Saeed Mendez. 17-year-old Camila Hassan, a rising soccer star in Rosario, Argentina, dreams of playing professionally in defiance of her father's wishes and at the risk of her budding romance with Diego. Realistic fiction, sports fiction, romance fiction, all grades.
The Matchbreak Summer by Annie Raines. When her mom decides to close up Camp Seabrook because she's marrying a guy she met online, 16-year-old Paisley Mannings teams up with polar opposite Hayden Bennett to break up the happy couple and loses her heart in the process. Romance fiction, comedy fiction, all grades.